Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream. Apologies for the delay in starting it um, and not streaming yesterday. I'm still getting over a little bit of food poisoning from this week, but yeah, glad to be here. And I did get a little bit of stuff done. A couple of nights where I was feeling up for it, and yesterday. So let me show you a little bit of the mechanics, something that I've fixed a little bit and worked on, refined a little bit more since last week, and then we'll go into like the main level and do a little bit of work there, just to relax and have some visual stuff going. All right, so let's get into it. First thing that you will notice, hopefully the audio is coming in okay, is let me make sure. Okay, the audio seems to be fine. So let me know if there's any issues. But the first thing that you'll notice, and this is not going to be like indicative necessarily of how it's going to look in the game, but um, each one of the interactable or like the important, let's call it important items that you can pick up and interact with are kind of marked with specific icons. And these were just some basic stuff that I've made a while back, and I thought, okay, they kind of look okay. There's like the knife for like some kind of like a weapon, like the um, a wrench and like a hammer for like interactable stuff. But yeah, it's just something like a placeholder for now. All right, so the main work that I've done when I was able to, it was around a bow. It's a little bit of a big headache. At least it was until trying to figure out um, some of the best way to handle the bow, because when you shoot a bow you expect to be able to pick up the arrow once you shoot it. Where does the arrow land? Then kind of how it you manage the inventory when you shoot the arrow, pick up the arrow. The arrow that, like I said, needs to get created at the location of where the arrow projectile impacted. So that was a little bit of and plus, the way I have the mechanic with the, showing the current arrows that you have, on the side of the bow, that was a little bit of a headache as well. But let me show you what I ended up with, and fixing some of the errors as well. Errors was painful. All right, so the one thing is that right now you won't be able to. You can see like you can't carry more arrows, so that's not going to be listed like that, but you won't be able to carry any more than three. So right now you can see like the bows on the side of the arrows on the side of the bow. So you can like pick one up and you can see like now you got only two of them left, and you can shoot with this one. Uh, and of course, once you shoot it, you can shoot all three. And once you shoot them, they kind of get planted into the ground, and the interactable arrow is created, so you can pick it back up. You can they get added to the side of the bow, and then you can start firing again. The one thing that I was a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it error, it was just a mishap on my part, is that you can throw a distractor at the same time you shoot the bow. So it looks a little bit weird to have both of these prediction arcs happening at the same time. So I'm probably just gonna have this made as an overlay state. So basically, if you want to throw something, I want to give a little bit of a visual representation as well of you shooting it, because right now it's like right in your hand where the so if I was to go in third person, you can see that the little thing, and I can just exit here for a little bit. So the little throwable item is in your um, is in your hand, which and you're still carrying the bow. So I don't want that. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, once you, I guess they flew around here somewhere, and you can see like they all kind of have just the same icon at the moment. So I'm gonna work it so that they either have like a unified thing that you can interact with, kind of just a small dot or something like that. So it's not like, that much in your face. And yeah, right now those were just some placeholders. But yeah, if I go ahead and throw something, kind of the enemy should come around, and so let's see. So he should fall down, and I should be able to pick up an arrow, like the one that's sticking off the side of him. Uh, so oh, that was a new one. I brought him back to life. Uh, that was that was a kind of a fun bug, I guess. Hey, Maniac, good to have you. Good to have you. Manga, good. Happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And yeah, so this guy was he's like back looking all mean. So that was kind of from the combat mechanic part of things. The other one was something that uh, one of the participants in last week's stream brought out, and it was a great thing. I can't thank you enough. It was related to I use advanced locomotion system, and it has mantling, which works great, right? But the one thing that it doesn't work on, it was on negative scaled objects. So yeah, Maniac, were you the one that mentioned that? I can't remember who, but and manga, I don't know. So what it does, it goes into a ragdoll, right? So I think the command might have overlapped and sent a message via the interface to unragdoll the enemy. That's my very uneducated initial guess at the moment, but that was interesting. Like I've never had that happen before. Um, it's actually just an interact. So basically, I interact with that, and I think what I interacted with was also the body, which apparently maybe I shouldn't be able to when he's dead. But I did have a mechanic where you can actually interact with the body and drag it away, like carry it and dump it somewhere else. So I might bring that back. But going back to the negative scale, so right now in here, I have a couple of these, like some negative scales over here, over here. I think this one's got negative scales on a couple of axes. This one's got negative scale. So let's jump into game and I'll show you what the result is. So now this one's the one with the regular scale. This one's the one with the negative scale. You've seen this one's got like negative scale all around. And so let's see, I'm also going to do this one. So this one was the one with the negative scale as well. So thankfully I was able to find this. YouTube is a wealth of knowledge, as everybody knows. Depends on how you use it, of course. But what I was able to find is a couple of people that have done this before, and I'm so grateful for that. So let me show you exactly what was done. Um, I'm not sure if I'll be able to find their channel again. So let me go back into here and make sure that I'm in the right place to just show you the function where and what needs to be changed to account for these negative or offset axes. It's not so much just the negative axis, but if the object has like some 1.25 on the X, maybe 3.06 on the Y. So like some of these funky scalings, I mean, they're not funky. It's just like you can scale the object, so why not? But let me give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna need to debug it real quick to see on which one of these I have the proper mantle function because I've parented these multiple levels for my actors. So bear with me for just a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out where I have the mantle start section. in in my main characters. I think I might have found it. Is that not reachable? That's not reachable. My bad. All right, so let's take a look here. I believe I might be in the right place. Um, all right, so in basically in your base class, whichever that might be, where you have the mental start. So you want to look into any of the mental functions. So a lot of these mental functions use these. They're like a macro library, if I'm not mistaken. And these ones have a few conversion methods from what I gather. And the one to look at is, I believe, the local to world. Right, so this is like how it looks, and you can pause the video at this point and kind of just replace it with what I have. So originally it was like this, where it was breaking this this struct and making it again with the using this get will transform. So what um, the person did is literally just this, and I wish I could explain you a little bit more of what this is, but I'm really bad at these location, kind of this vector math, you might call it, and but yeah, take it as is, where luckily this fixes things. So like I said, I wish I could understand it a little bit better and explain it to you. This invert the invert transform and the inverse transform location rotation, they just go. I'm not smart enough to understand these, so they just go over my head. But oh yeah, manga, perfect. Thank you so much. And but yeah, this was very useful. I was able to find this on YouTube. Um, so there we go. Hopefully that might be helpful to somebody. All right. So exactly, Maniac. I think that it looks like that's what it does, but it's also like in like the world scale somehow. So it is, yeah. Um, this is like the one thing that I hate the most about game development is like having to deal with these operations in like coding and slash blueprints. But yeah. Um, okay, so those were some of the updates. I wish there was more. Like I said, my week went by in bed most of the time. So let's get into the main world and just kind of do a little bit of work around um, that end of that kind of part of town where we were working on last week. I played around a little bit with some of the placement for like a trailer home and some of the back streets, back roads in that area, just to see what would work best, and we'll just probably work in dressing up that area. Try to place a few buildings and replace some of the ones that I keep that I've made a while back. So stuff things like this that I want to replace. Hey Julius. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that some of these videos might come in handy to other people, and or at least might find them interesting to look at. Um, and at least on one hand, there's the ALS. which I use. So if there's anything like this that I discover, I love sharing it with you guys. Um, Maniac, I'm only very good at materials logics for now. Yeah, that's nice. Some of them, like I can make a material, but when it comes down to like post-process materials and that kind of stuff, that is complicated stuff. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean that at least that's part of it. But then again, there's like building the world and then building all the mechanics, and that part is complex as well. So while I show you know s- updates from week to week as far as this is how I've made kind of the bow, and this is kind of the mechanic that I did for like how to show the weapon count, or the ammo count. Uh, yeah, that's all that stuff on the back end is so much is such it's a lot of work, as I know. But yeah, so this is we kind of left off. We had this like little ridge over here. So what I did is I thought a way to kind of create a little bit of back road coming off of this one here, and winding down this little hill. Maybe place a couple of or a few of the trailer homes around here, and then it kind of joins into this back road that goes behind here, which joins into this main road over here. And then this one from here would join into the main road over here. So kind of just where the grocery store is, like the warehouse, the power station, and so I've added a few more of those buildings to fill in this empty area here and see how those fit. And we're gonna have some backyards to work on over here, just like before. I've replaced that one building that I had here with something that looks better, I think. Uh, I wish I would have been able to use stuff that I've made, but again, no, non-professional here. And I felt these ones look much better. And it's kind of continuing the trend at this rooftop over here. And there's the back alley going behind the buildings, the stuff that we worked on last week as well. And yeah, never mind this part here. This is like the interior, and it's kind of I wouldn't call it sad, but it is what it is at times. There's things they gotta scrap, right? And like uh, this the apartment interior here is one that's gonna part of it is gonna get the boot. I mean, not in its entirety, but at least the walls or some of the walls, because I already have this building, and which looks great. So it's just a matter of maybe placing it a little bit better, and then from uh, from this apartment interior that I used to have, just using it to move the pieces into this open area, which luckily the layout is pretty much similar, so it should not be too complicated. All right. Let's see. So I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then kind of like I said, just kind of tapering off the height of town. Like in the middle, there's like some bigger, taller buildings. As you go out, there's like a little bit smaller. There's going to be like a house over here with like a couple of shacks, and on this corner here, some of these trailer homes, and just to like I said, taper off the town a little bit. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as far as doing today. Finishing off this road that goes back here. Dressing up this empty area probably. Um, let's see. Fixing up some of these mobile homes around on this corner here, like in between this road, the laundromat, and where the substation is, and maybe doing a little bit of the some of the backyard for this. Like this building here would share kind of like a parking lot with the laundromat. So let's get into it. Hey, legends never die. Hello. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Um, okay. Well, let's see. What do we want to start with? Maybe let's start off with this road to just kind of apply the material, maybe refine it a little bit, and yeah, so apply that kind of that dirt texture that we have used, which is this one over here. Oops, and now that I'm here, I'm noticing that this road turned a little weird. Not entirely sure why. Oh, that probably is part of it. Oh, I hate how Unreal Engine does this sometimes. It's just like it does this kind of joining um of these points. Like I'm not sure how it does it, but um it's just a matter of since it's like kind of control click. If you control click and there's another one selected, it adds another point to that spline. So it's one of those things where you just got to be careful. And let me make this one um, so it's daytime. We get a little bit more light in here. Apologies, my voice is a little bit like a smoker's. Like, how long have you been smoking? Ever since I was 5. All right, let's try and fix this stuff over here and line them up. There we go. All right, and since we're here, let's also grab this mesh and place it with these guys. So there's that, and we'll replace the materials shortly. I just wanted to get these in first. There we go, and then for the material, let's see, where's material overrides? We got these two bad boys here. Yeah, smoking is, and it is, that's the, when they first found, like the tobacco plant, it was like, oh man, this is great. It's the nicotine that is just, it's so hard. And, I totally get it. Like, you know, uh, I have a bunch of friends that smoke, and even if you do like the vape thing, it's really hard to kick the nicotine habit. So yeah, they've put some thought into into getting people addicted to to some of this stuff. All right, let's see how we can. It's always kind of difficult creating turns, you know, and it's you know, it all depends on like the angle of it. So and how many points you got from what I can tell. So the more points you got in the turn, and the less the angle is, so you can see like here, this is going to get stretched out pretty bad. Like if you look at this being the offset. So I'm going to try and like reduce the side offset for these points. 300, so they don't overlap as much. We'll see. Maybe that's gonna help. Yeah, so see, it makes a, hopefully you can tell, you can see like the dotted lines, but it makes a little bit of a tighter turn here, and them not overlapping as much. I'm hoping it's gonna work out a little bit better. So let's just do this one, 500. Let's see. So let's do all splines. Yeah, I stopped for a few days and then again. Yeah, that was one thing that I was lucky enough to not get into when I was in high school because I think we were heading to a camp or something, and like there were like cool kids on the train, that were already smoking. Everybody else was thinking, oh, that's cool, and so I thought, I'll try it, and we were doing it like right in between like two train cars, and I got the worst laryngitis ever. And after that, I'm like, I'm not touching this thing again. And I have not. So it's kind of, I guess, once you have a bad experience, it might it might help you as well. I mean, not that I'm saying that you should, but at least it helped me when I was young and stupid and trying to start it. But yeah, that definitely put me off. And then it was like the smell. It was another thing that it was um, it was also something that I hated. All right, let's do some painting over here. Get some remove some of the mulch, and we'll paint back in the mulch once we have the roads all set. Luckily, this area I had an issue with the terrain a while back, and I had to pull in from my repository a copy of it, and I was able to get the terrain back, but it was just like missing all the layer information, and I was like, oh man, I just need to repaint things again, but it's fine. Uh, um, I recently saw a video that people should be aware about when it comes to optimizing materials when you use a lot of your market. Yes, Maniac Design. I saw that too. If it's I saw the one. It was a developer from the Czech Republic, I believe, and he was talking about him and his team, um, also using a lot of marketplace assets, and then ending up with like the one of the build engineers that was it was telling them that it was like 1,000 master materials or something like that. So yeah, that's exaggerated. I mean, if you get to that point, then you're using way too many um too many different assets, and you got to be a little bit careful. But yeah, I think so. Maniac, I think it was 1,000 master materials. So you can think of at least that's my recollection. Like from the video. I'd have to go back and look at it. So yeah, that's a lot. So they ended up refactoring a ton of it to get them into like just a smaller number of master materials. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's too much trouble with how many instances you got. Like if you have, for example, you have three different rocks with three different materials, but they all come from the same master material. Um, yeah, it might not it might make sense, depending on the project, but I don't think it's going to be, if it's like instances, I'm not sure if that's too much of an issue. But when there were like that many master materials, that turned into an issue. So yeah, that here comes the refactoring and all that kind of fun that's involved with refactoring all those master materials. Yeah. So material instances, that was my thought as well. Uh, you can have a lot, but yeah, with the master materials, like I said, I think they had so many that it was just uh, like I was shocked by how many they had. All right, let's do some let's resimulate some of these trees a little bit just to remove them from this area, remove some of the rocks, and hopefully clean that up a little bit. But that was a very good. I really liked that last um, they brought up this video. It was actually a really good video, and I felt it was finally from like an indie developer, and he spoke to a lot of the things that I've been doing as well. So I was like, okay, I've done that the same way. I've done that the same way. He was like, okay, this is kind of how I look at things. So glad to to see that I'm not the only one, which was good. Um, oh, thank you. Yeah, so I have not heard anything. I know they have like a development version that people can get from their repository and use it in their project. Excuse me. Apologies for that. Um, and but not one that's approved by Epic yet. So I'm still waiting on the one that's approved by Epic. Thank you, Maniac. Yeah. All right. So next, I think was the logs and the rocks. Let me see. What did I call this? Rocks, foliage. Let's try and redo this one as well. Um, yeah, it's actually on Manga. It's on their it's one of the most recent ones from the Unreal Engine channel. Actually their official channel. So that's where they have that. It I think it came out this week, to be honest. Yeah, if you can't find it, then shoot me a message on Discord. I can find it for you. Oh, thank you, Maniac. All right, so that one actually regenerated. I was just being a chatterbox. All right, so let's see. We have the log. I think did I call it logs? Yeah, logs. There we go. And again, guys, my apologies for my voice. It's if it's kind of cracking everybody's speakers. Um, my bad. All right, so there we go. We cleared some of those as well. Let's um let's try and finish this terrain a little bit better so we can like place some things over here. So let's sculpt, flatten. And then we'll also smooth some of this out over here. It's like one of those fitness videos. Flatten smooth, then ramp, and flatten smooth, and ramp. um, so I was just gonna place a couple of these, like some little shacks over here, kind of similar to what this little area here is. And speaking of this little area, I could probably just use it since it's its own little level as well, like a level instance. Um, and which kind of re reminds me, it was now that I'm kind of, I'm just going to cancel out of this. So something that we talked about last week was, or was it the week before that? Was like the external actors, so being able to have multiple teams work on the same level at the same time, via, sharing the progress, just pushing changes via Git and so on. So one thing that I've been running into is it seems like it's a little bit of a pain when it comes to deleting one of those assets, one of those levels that's using um, um external actors. And there's like it seems like it creates a lot of dependencies. So it's always good to back things up. Like repository it up as much as you can. Um, oh, Julius, a YouTuber just posted how to make a procedural degradation of objects. Wow, that's actually cool. Yeah, if you can share it, that'd be amazing. Um, Procedural damage in Unreal Engine 5. I will have to check that out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh that sounds so cool. I mean, it's and it's more of just like the uh, kind of procedural degradation. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Thank you. All right, so let me go in here. I believe some of these might be like, I thought they were like their own level, not level, but like pack level actor. Apparently, I might need to go back and revisit this stuff. All right, but for now, I think we might be able to use one of these around here. Just let's see how it goes. One second, guys. All right, so let's see how this one might fare on this side. Not too bad. I think we can make this work. Let's see, what would be maybe a better position for this? I'm gonna need to edit this level anyways to remove some of the cars and so on. But yeah, that could be pretty cool to position it like this. You got like the town in the background and uh, this dirt road going behind here, these kind of these little houses. But yeah, this is one of the things that I need to do a little bit of grunt work on, just to separate these into their own little pack level actors. Like one house, two houses, and so on. And that way, you can position them a little bit better within like maybe a level copy or something like that. So for instance, this one, um, what I'm gonna do is let's actually bear with me for 1 second. The easiest way that I think, or maybe the safest, is to actually go into this individual level actor. So if I want to create another one of these, so maybe with a different placement of the houses, right? I would usually just go in here and save current level as, and let me see, where is this one at? So we got this thing. It's like I should actually start labeling them small village. I mean, kind of as the location. So maybe town exit 3. This is like the other exit of town. So I'll try and name it like that. But now I can go back into my main level. So taking me here just a couple of minutes. Um, oh, Julius, I'm obsessed myself with degradation of objects, houses, roads. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like the, so I told you guys that I do enjoy post-apocalyptic game every now and again, but um, I do like I I I I'm not a big fan of like the brand new kind of environments. Like I think I was looking at one that comes to mind was, and because it was just, it's also like the art style and all that. It was like Mirror's Edge. So Mirror's Edge was, it felt like it was a lot of fun. I never really played it, but I watched quite a few videos of it, and it just seemed like everything is like it was built yesterday. um, from like and I get it, that was the art style, everything like really bright color materials and um, I like that aspect of it, but um, I'm more of, I like the worlds that felt lived in, you know, like that haven't just rolled off the assembly line. So that was like a game that I'm not sure why I never really got into playing it. So I was I really liked the mechanics of it, like all the wall running, the parkour type of aspects of it. But when it comes to parkour, my go-to game is like Dying Light. That was like and plus, there's like the zombies, which is a lot of fun. But but yeah, I'm thinking of it. Also, Dying Light is a little bit, it's also the setting of the post-apocalyptic thing, and uh, and the zombies, and I like that combination, to be honest. But as a world that's lived in, I think a really good example was for me was Wolfenstein. Like Wolfenstein was just a perfect, like the environments in Wolfenstein. I mean, even the Youngbloods. I kind of enjoyed Youngbloods, to be honest. It's not to the level of the other ones, but I um, I really liked it. So um, that world was awesomely built. Everything in it. Hey, GM. Um, yeah, yeah, I gotcha. Um, yeah, and and not so much as if it's too clean. I think the thing is if it's too clean, what's there is uh, hey, this just dropped in. I mean, you can build a story about something that's just clean. It's just like a um what game? I think I was playing some video game where it was like a stage for testing something, and they had this like clean, really nicely built like part of town. So that one was kind of interesting. Um, yeah. Um, so let's see. Uh, oh, no worries, AGM. Legends Never Die. How many players on a server you think of having on the map? Um, So, Legends Never Die. Are you thinking of just like for a multiplayer game, or what I think would be enough? Hey, Oral. Yeah. So there is some gameplay if you wanna. I can show you some of that as well. Oh, for my game, so it's a single player game, and so one player. But yeah, Oral, let me know, and I can jump into game and show you a little bit of combat, a little bit of maybe interactions with some of the NPCs. I think I might have some dialogues going. I'd have to like kind of uh, see see if there's anyone that I think these guys back here might have dialogues, but I'm not sure if I tie them um, into the mission yet. So uh, please don't hate me for that. All right, I'm guessing there's like a rifle that I kind of dropped over here. Um, so it's not a survival game. It's a single player adventure game, first person single player first person adventure game. Let me get all my ducks in a row. And yeah, so the way it starts is you and let me see, what is it? Oh, it's called On Your Own. I kind of looked for that and I couldn't find anything that was like that. Well, let me thank you so much for letting me know because I didn't want to encroach on somebody else's game. Um, I think I saw one like that, but I think it was a little bit, the name was not like, it was a little bit different. Um, Maybe On Our Own. I can't remember. So yeah. Legend of Die, how much will your game be? So my initial thought was gonna be somewhere around like $10, $12, something like that. I'll see depending on after people play test it and how much they like it and how much they feel it might be worth. I'm gonna ask some folks once they try the demo. But yeah, it's all right. So Oral, let me see. I think I might have like an enemy around here. I actually have a bunch. And let me get some of the. I'm gonna move some of the weapons. Actually, I'm gonna leave that over there. And but let me get some arrows and a bow just to get a little bit more of a little bit more of combat items. So let me get the bow and a couple of arrows, just so you can pick up. And I got the rifle. Let me get a magazine, rifle magazine, so you can pick that up. And since we're here, I'll try and see if I can interact with one of these guys, and also show you how you um, how you deal with like getting directions. So um, yeah. Um, oh yeah, no, thank you for Oral. Thank you so much for bringing that up. All right, so let's jump into game mode here. I cannot remember where I left my the player start here. So and just as a the way the game starts is it's been used in other games, but it's through a plane flight sequence. So you're in the plane. You don't really have control over it. But what happens, there's a malfunction on the plane and it starts crashing. And along the flight path, you can jump out of the you can jump out of the plane. You can choose like three locations. So depending on the location that you jump out of, it's going to start a little bit different. Like the initial missions are going to be different, and eventually they're all going to be joining into a single kind of single line. And so yeah, once you land into this area, you're going to start, you're going to be able to interact at first with some of the friendly NPCs. What they're going to give you is this device. So this is the device that, um, at the moment, this is how I have it envisioned set up. And so once you get the device, you're going to be able to, to kind of get your missions. So you have a basic, kind of where the mission is, a little bit of a basic inventory at the top, um, direct kind of distance to your new location, to your destination, and a little bit of a kind of a compass. So now the the way I've done it to also give a little bit of variety is you can just use a HUD if you so choose to. So the HUD is like this instead of having the device, so you can choose between the um, having and I think I've disabled the I might have disabled Lumen, but yeah, so you can choose to have either the device like this kind of shown on the screen or the physical the actual physical item, which would break your, if you have like a weapon, it's going to put the weapon away and pull up the device. So you got to decide on how difficult you want to do it. Um, and yes, double P. Yeah, I know that was an animation that I created in Unreal. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so yeah, let's go. Just as a quick mechanic. Um, and actually, my bad. I had this bookmark, but uh, break pointed. So just as a simple mechanic, so you'd be able to do like kind of just a stealth aspect of, like climbing through windows. Don't mind the little device attached to your legs. That's just to be fixed. Okay, so that's one of them. Um, and you've seen like the mantling part of things, being able to climb over stuff. Um, so now let me go and I think there's a bad guy around here. I thought there was. Where is that dude? Because there's also like the stealth takedown, where you got like you can approach him and then kind of just strangle him and take him down. Um, oh yeah, thank you, Earl. Yeah, I know there's like a lot of games that use the plane mechanic because how you gonna? I mean, I think it's the easiest mechanic to introduce a player into the world, right? Because you're gonna have a limited world, and plane crash is something simple. Yeah, there's other options, but I kind of like the one where you can like start in different locations, based on the plane, because um, then you have to give a story of why did you start at that location instead of this location? Well, with a plane crash, you kind of like crash in like different places. So, yeah. Um, yeah, so that one I showed a little bit earlier, double P. It was if you're gonna go back in the video, it's right at the beginning of it where I give the update. Um, oh yeah, so Oral, of course the window itself, you're gonna first open it before like climbing through it, not like this. But yeah, that was just the basic stuff that you would have. Um, Yeah, so nothing like that, not breaking the window to get through, So let me go over there. I know that I think I have a weapon. Like I said, I couldn't remember where I was starting the game from, and apparently it was a little bit farther. So let me go and grab the rifle. All right. So the way the weapons work. Um, oh man, I have so many breakpoints. So the way the weapons work, oh shoot. And this is one of the. Let me exit out of this real quick. I have a mechanic where the player would check to see if the weapon hits a wall, so it would like pull the weapon back. And since we're here, I'm just gonna move the player start as well a little bit closer. And the problem with that is, and I didn't get around to fixing it, is that it overlaps with the with the foliage volumes. And so let me move some of these up for now. My bad. Like I said, it's sometimes it's floor player exactly. Sorry about that. Um, but um, but yeah, uh, it's something weird related to, and I need to make it so that my trace is on a different channel. But like the the procedural foliage volumes, they I think they generate overlap events or something like that, and they behave a little weird. So that's why it kind of like makes it a little bit difficult to test some of these. And whenever somebody asks me to do it, I forget that I just generated the trees, so they're going to be a little bit off. Um, but yeah, let's jump into game mode here again, and any minute now. There you go. And I'll show you hopefully some of the interactions and some of this weirdness around. Oh, that's interesting. And I'm really happy that you guys asked me to do this because I realized that I sometimes forget some things to move, like for example the interior of the laundromat, and that's just because where is the tools? There's a window, world partition, data partition. Bear with me for 1 second. My apologies, Oral. And so let me just put this inside back inside the interior for the laundromat. There we go. And maybe some of this post-process volumes also, since we're here. Yeah, and again, I kind of mentioned this um, a lot. Uh, you know, this is part of why I enjoy streaming as well, because you guys asked me for just to check something out, and then I realized that wait, I forgot about this one thing. So it's kind of a good thing for me uh, to keep on top of some of the stuff that I would have missed. All right, so let's try this again. Sorry for the wait, Oral. And let's oh man, why? Why would you crash with this NPC optimizer? Interesting. This is the first time that I've seen this crash with this. Anyways, let's get back into it. I've never seen an issue with that NPC optimizer, so I'm using this plugin called, and I believe it might have been free on the marketplace, this NPC optimizer. I might have brought it up in a previous stream where the plugin itself, what it does is depending on the distance to the player, it would kind of push the LODs of the NPCs, I'll call them NPCs, but other characters to a lower level. So basically, you're not seeing all the bones ticking at, from a distance where you don't really care. And, you know, made you crash on your own game. Oh yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah. Um, And that's true. You know, if you render it is that's totally true. I hear you. Thank you, Earl. Um, so I'll just show you the mechanics in the test level. It might uh, uh, it might work a little bit easier with um, much better frame rate. Try to maybe render on player camera cone. Yeah, and I think that's what this NPC optimizer does, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right, so I think I got everything in here to at least show you the um, the mechanics, you know, how the enemy reacts to you, you know, damaging, interacting with the NPCs and so forth. So, yeah, let's do that in here. Hopefully that's okay. Hey, Gitish, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I guess, but I do appreciate that. I mean, I don't mind that at all because if I don't do that, it's just going to crash to somebody that's going to play the game. So I'd rather, you know, get that out of the way now. Uh, you know. So yeah, let's do it in here. So let's go with some of the arrows. Let's do like the pistol. Pick up some of these materials, some materials. All right. So you've seen like the device, yeah, the movement is funky, but this is what I wanted to show you. You know, when you have something in the inventory, it turns green. You know, in this case, you have a pistol, and I need to readjust the positioning of these a little bit better. So under each one of the items, if it's a weapon, I can show you how many bullets you got left in total. All right, so let's go for the bow. This one, to me, this is like the most fun mechanic. And so there's like a prediction arc to it. And then so the detection of the enemy works like this. You know, if he sees you, it just fills up the bar. Basically, like, you know, if you think of Far Cry, I got a lot of it from that. It's in other places as well. So yeah. Double P, I'll show you the mini game on the arcade machine as well. In Oral, that's another fun little part of it. But yeah, once you aim, you can like shoot the bow. But I'm just gonna let this guy kind of get into his like upset mood, and so now he's gonna follow me around and chase me. And I think, oh no, he's still following me. And as you can see, as far as the damage, and I have like I'm trying to have like no UI aside from like the crosshair. So I'm gonna get rid of this guy because he's like getting on my nerves. But so now once he dies, I'm gonna be able to revive him. So check this out. Oh, actually not this time. Interesting. Oh no, there we go. That's just a funny bug. It's not that it's in the game. But so that's kind of one of the mechanics with the bow. Let me show you kind of how it works with the weapons, like the rifle. Where's the rifle? Where did I put the rifle at? That's the device. What the heck did I do with the rifle? I thought it was around here. So let's try the pistol. I know it was around here. Just to show you how the counter works. So the counter works like this. You got like a little bit of um, a little bit of a counter on the side of the weapon, and this is something that is actual real. You know, it's not science fiction or anything like that. There's like manufacturers out there that do this, and they can get like a counter that is on the side of the on the weapon. So it looks kind of like this. So, you know, of course, like when you fire, it just counts it down. And once you reload it, the animation is not there yet, but you know, you have like um the reload happening. Um, and yeah, let's go and check in with one of the NPCs. I hope I'd be able to interact with them. So yeah, the NPCs, like the friendly NPCs, um, that are going to be living around the world, they're going to have different activities. So in this case, these guys are just hanging around, they're not doing anything. But they would have like activities like this. So for example, they would go and sit down, and if the activity is occupied, the next NPC in line would like go and look for something else to do. Um, Once the activity is freed up, whichever NPC is not doing anything is going to pick that one up next. So when it comes to interacting with one of these guys, whoa, that's interesting. So it kind of looks like this. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have, yeah, so this one is just the interaction where he would give you the tablet. Even the voice acting is off. Yeah, the voice acting is generated through well, the voice acting. The lip movement is generated through this plugin on the marketplace that I'm still waiting to get updated to 5.4 officially, like through the marketplace. And the voices is just going to be, for now at least, AI generated. Um, though I found some pretty good AI, voice generation tools, and they come out pretty realistic. So I'm pretty good to have that. Um, Once Human. What's Once Human? Was that? I don't play a lot of video games aside from some of these that I really enjoy. So unfortunately, like really enjoy is, doesn't say a lot, but kind of my type of video games. So Days Gone and Far Cry and Dying Light. But yeah. So for example, this guy, his whole, uh, again, it's a placeholder NPC, right? His whole shtick is to just give you the tablet, right? So if you pick up the device, which I already have, unfortunately, so I can't pick up multiple devices of the same type. But let's see if I can remember if this one has. All right, so this is more of an interactive dialogue. So you can like, so this is kind of how the lip movement works, and it's just to show a little bit of how the character, how the not the character, but the NPCs behave once you interact with them, and they actually have a lip sync animation going. And so now I've picked up the bow, and I'm just gonna need to pick up some arrows. But yeah, so that's the very basic NPCs interaction. In the world, I think you're right. I think it might be. I think you're definitely right. Thank you so much for bringing that up. So I'm gonna try and pull that back a little bit, but it's kind of, you know what? Let me take another look, because I think I'm not sure if it's like an issue with how close I am when I interact with them, or what. All right, so this guy has said his piece, and I think that's pretty much it as far as how much he's gonna talk to me. And she did the same. So let me see if I jump into game again, because this is a very good point you brought up, and thank you. And since I'm here, I can also show you the poor person. Well, I'm not gonna do the shove, like I think that's gonna be on the enemy NPCs, to do like the push, right? So since I'm here, uh, oh yeah, and there's also like the little, like fisticuffs if you wanna do like the punching. But if that guy is armed, I'd rather you don't do that. But once you're behind one of these guys, you can do like a stealth takedown, and yeah, the camera is positioned pretty badly. So, but you would do like a stealth takedown of the enemies. Yeah, who brings a fist? Well, you never know. You never know. Like a ninja or something. But let me try and interact with this guy again and see if I'm like interacting with him from over here. Yeah, so this one, I mean, it feels like I think it's a lot based on the animations. Um, it's like, but I see what you're saying. You know, like i- she I think she's a little like in the animation, she's a little hunched over, so that's why it looks like she's going in for a kiss. But no. And I need to change the color of the text because it's hard to read if it's like on a really bright background. So yeah, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely do. But yeah, the personal space is exactly that. It's just I mean, if you need to move some of these guys out of the way, you know, like you can get around them, that would be part of it. And I can't pick it up because I got a device already, my dude. I don't need it. Keep your device. So the one thing that Double P asked was just as a kind of a fun little in-game mechanic is you know playing this Tappy Chicken little game. So you can actually play it in you know just a mini game because I do love these little mini games if they're not oh, if I don't suck at it. But you know, I do like the mini games inside of inside of games. I was gonna say personal best, but no. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that's a little bit of it. What else? Across the world, you know, so you got the bad guys, right? And on in the world, what's gonna happen is I wanted to find a way to like limit, you know, because the play area is limited, right? And I wanted to figure out a way in how to limit it, but not with like you've seen in other post-apocalyptic games where you have like a crashed tunnel or a blocked tunnel or something like that. So the way I wanted to do it is with some of these bad guys. So what I'm gonna have in the world at like the world exits is gonna be like one of these military vehicles which on top of it, and I can show you how this guy behaves. Um, so let me see, where is my turret? And so so this guy is no joke. This it's not an instant kill, but you will not be able to get past them, right? So these are like the bad guys in the world. Um, so I'm not sure what Tarkov evac, is it Tarkov evac? Is that like Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, or is that the game that I'm thinking of? So let me see, I believe I might need to say which one this is belonging to. Escape from Tarkov. Oh yeah, no, I have no idea what that game. I've heard the name. You know, don't get me wrong, I've heard the name, but I don't really know um what it does or like how it is. So I'm sorry. I think Double P. I think Oral knows what it's about. It's just that um there's definitely going to be like nowadays. You know, there's definitely going to be similarities between video games, no doubt. You know, you're not going to be able to build something that's so unique that it's like I've never seen this one before. Um, you know, so unfortunately, you know, this would have been the case maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But yeah, but I think, you know, like the evac, you mean like the vehicle itself, or it's is similar to Escape from Tarkov? Yeah, and well, that's the thing, you know. In the case of this, you're not going to be able to see it anyways. It's got a pretty. I mean, I'm not sure how much, how big of a range, that big of a range. Oh man. And luckily right now, chill, chill, chill. Right now it doesn't do any damage, but it's pretty much going to be one of those things that okay, you're not going to be able to exit through the tunnel, right? You'll be able to look at it probably with the binoculars, kind of looking through the tunnel. So you think like there is something at the end of the tunnel, we're not completely just boxed in, like there is there is something behind this, right? But in the case of this, you won't be able to approach it. So yeah, right now this is how I was planning on doing these the escape routes. Oh Jesus. Um, so yeah, these are like kind of the trucks that are blocking the escape routes out of this area. Kind of keeping the people in there. Yeah, and that's the thing. Amazing would be very hard to achieve, unfortunately. Um, and that's the thing. It's like, what's fun versus what's original and fun, and that's why it's so difficult. You know. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you. Kind of this military truck. And at the same time, this is how the kind of the like the blood mechanic works. Like it would make like a little bit of graffiti on that wall back there. Oh, that's interesting. Can we paint the wall like this? Oh yeah, that's kind of gross. But anyways, so Oral, again, thank you so much for asking me to show you some of this because I haven't um, I haven't done it in a while. And those were some of the kind of the main mechanics, I would say. Let's see, combat, character, like NPC interaction, dialogues, kind of how you get the missions, the UI side of things. And that's why I wanted to keep the UI as simple as possible. Let me see. I thought I had a rifle. So the rifle the rifle itself, oh, it's all the way back there. It works similar to the pistol when it comes to displaying the ammo count. So I just wanted to show you I think it might be a little bit more visible than the pistol, but yeah. So it basically looks like this. So once you shoot it, you can like reload it. It's just like any other rifle in video games. So yeah, there you go. That's uh, the kind of uh, the main mechanics I would say in here. I can't think of anything else right at the moment. So let me. Oh yeah, there's like the bullet hole. It looks like this. So let me see if I can shoot at something that has bullet holes happening. Yeah, so it's just like this damage that's applied to the surface. Depending on like some of them are wood, so they'd be like a little bit more like a wood break type of surface. So the bullet holes they don't run that far. I think and they disappear after a little bit. And the same with the blood stains. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so let's get back into it. There's a little bit of time left today, and at least my voice can go for a little bit longer. And hopefully, and we'll do maybe a little bit of that. Um we'll try and arrange that area a little bit better around that little village that I've just created, and maybe regenerate some of the trees around them. Uh, I'd say make them appear more from a far so you can see from at least. Yeah, I think it might be. I can't remember how many units, but it's I think at the moment might be like 1,000 units, which I think it's 10 meters if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and exactly, it definitely depends on the color of the object. You're totally right on that. All right, so we got this copy from last time that we've created. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and position some of these objects best as I can. Though I kind of hate myself for what I've done here. I've kind of messed some things up myself. Just that because I was trying to make these into a pack level actor, and I made a boo-boo out of it, more than anything. Let's see. It was I think it was like in the beginning when I was testing out the the pack level actors, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna grab everything and create it into pack level actor instead of just grabbing one of these like this and doing that. But you live and you learn. All right, let's try and select more of these. And yeah, there's a bunch of cameras for different spots on this. I'm just gonna try and place this selection like on this side of the road of the yeah, the road. I mean, it's a road. And we'll build some trees around them, and let's see how we can position this over here. All right, let's go maybe to about here. And we can sculpt the terrain, but I wanted to get it as close as possible to the road. That's kind of like the main point, main area there. All right. So that's good. Let's get this one to place this like right on the ground, this fence. It's not doesn't have the best setting for it, but it should work out. All right, so let me tighten it up a little bit. Right there. Let's grab this section of next to the house. And try and just move him over like a little bit of a flatter terrain. Maybe about there. All right, so that's okay. Let's get this area here and position it at least above the terrain. And maybe a little bit more on the corner. Let's see, how can we get this in there? to about there. That's all right. Just gonna push it further back from the road. And this one, let's kind of get it like the other one in. So I might actually leave it like this so it doesn't do any tracing, and then just place the nodes on the ground. There we go, something like that. All right. And now we can go in and let's move some of these things as well. I didn't see these. Move them all closer to the house. All right. So that's good for now. Let's go ahead and save that, and we'll sculpt the terrain a little bit around that section over there. There we go. All right, and these ones, we can move these down a little further. And I need to position them a little bit better so that they line up with since the roof is kind of triplanar projection, it's not aligning perfectly. All right, so let's sculpt this out a little bit around here. And let's pick up maybe this height here. Let's increase the fall off a little bit. Oh, that went a little too far for that area, but we can fix this right away. There we go, and it kind of matches with the height of the road as well, pretty good, I think, which is always nice to have. Just trying to see about these two mobile homes on this side. Maybe I need to pull them down a little bit. So yeah, let's try and finish this one here. It's actually like the square brackets, the two square brackets is right is increasing it and left is decreasing it. And it's the same, the vertex paint has the same one, but it's a little bugged because you can't hold it down, you just have to like press it multiple times. So it's probably like a bug that Unreal doesn't really know about, or it's kind of a feature. And then, sculpting up and down is like shift. All right, let's see. Do we want to move this one a little bit further that way? I think it'll be fine. Let's try and use some of these big boulders over on this corner here. Like this. Yeah, this one's not gonna work. We'll see, maybe we'll push them in a little bit further this way. Yeah, double P, let me know if that works. All right, just a little bit of that. Let's see, how can we get this in a little bit better? That's really kind of an awkward looking hill there. I think I might just scrap the idea of having these over here and maybe more extend this out. Whew. Hopefully I didn't get anybody with that sneeze. I think I might have been, I think I was able to turn off the mic in time, but if I did, my apologies. All right, so let's try and get this in around here, like that. Um, oh yeah, that was it's kind of interesting because it's the same the thing that I like that's the same shortcut that I think Photoshop uses. It's a very common shortcut for like increasing the scale of brushes for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's like just uh people got together and like, what's the best shortcut to increase brushes? What should we use? It's like, oh, that one, you know? So but that it's the same one in Photoshop. I can't remember if I've tried it in when I was using CryEngine, if that was the same one. I don't recall for like kind of increasing brush size to for something like that. Try and move this to this side a little bit just to get a little bit more space on that on this side here. I think that could give us a little bit more. Yeah, that should do it. And so that still looks good. I just need to regenerate these rocks so we don't have all of them just sitting right there. Um, and let me go back in. I just need to get these barrels and kind of move them around. Like that. All right, good for now. All right, let's see. So that's in place, that's in place. We can use one of these around kind of the length of the road here. Like this. At least on this side, we'll be able to slope it down. Hey, double P, what software do you use to organize yourself, like documentation-wise? I've been trying to get it going to OneNote. Oh, that's a good, you know what? So I've been, um, as far as kind of tracing out the story itself and, like through the missions, I've been using something called Mural. Um, and Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody else heard of it, but um, it's a very good tool, taking ideas and jotting them down, making like a flow chart of things, like so you've done this step here, then take this branch. So basically creating like a tree to track missions. It's called Mural, Mural. Hey, Adamski. Hey, welcome, welcome. No worries, Hisham. We'll be around for another 20 minutes or so at least. I want to finish off at least this corner. Uh, I was hoping I was going to be a little bit more productive today, but I'm still recuperating. Yeah, Imran, that's perfect. Thank you so much for bringing those up. I think I might have been looking into those as well at one point. Um, Not sure why I went, with Mural. We use it at work as well, so it made a lot of sense to me. It's like, well, if we use it at work, but yeah, that's exactly, like just a mind map type of tool um, is always welcome to um, is great to have, I think. Oh man, these gizmos are a pain. Why would you make that thing so big when you millinote, huh? Yeah, Mural is free. I mean, so that's what it's going for it. I guess one of the things that I like it is that it's a free tool. So if there's one thing I like, it's free. But yeah, that's the nice thing. There's a ton of tools out there nowadays. So yeah, for sure you'll be able to find something. All right, let's see. Let's smooth this out a little bit around here. And around here. That part there. Okay, it's kind of making sense. So let's also put like a little bit of these big boulders on this edge here. Oh, that's some great ideas, guys. Really appreciate sharing that. I'm definitely gonna check them out. Let's try and create like a little bit of a wall kind of thing back here. All right, something to that extent, I would think. There we go. All right, let's see how we can do about the. I'm gonna put something for that cliff. This needs to go away, this dock, but we'll take care of that. Um, so let me smooth this out a little bit out around here. Let's see what else do we got. I'm gonna need to resculpt the terrain around the drive, but let's position some of these big boulders on this edge here. All right, something to that extent would do. So double P, I don't think I've asked, but um, what type of work do you do? If you don't mind sharing, you know. All right, there we go. So, and also the reason that I wanted to make this is that I can extend the the terrain, you know, flatten it out a little bit more over this side, like this. Hisham, yeah, that I was kind of thinking that might be it, and I'm depending on the mesh, I'm running into like a very dark uh, type of um, type of uh, distance field for some of my meshes as well, so I can't figure out why. But if I do, or if you do let me know because I'm interested in why that might be, you know. All right, there we go. So we earned a little bit more real estate there. Hopefully we can place a bit more trees. All right, so let's go ahead and paint some stuff. Oh, nice, nice, double P. Awesome. So you guys use Notion, or you just use it for your own benefits? Do you use it in like as at a company level? Oh, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Hey, Hisham, yeah, definitely. If it's a question that you know I might not be able to answer just because you know it might conflict with YouTube or whatever, then I'll just tell you. Um, if you're really interested in my answer, you can always ask me on Discord as well. So what's up? Oh, no worries. Let's see, where did I want to put some more trees? This one's going to be like a kind of a steep slope. So we can extend it out to around here. This part here should be just dirt so we don't get trees on top of this. And then some mulch. I got the mulch layer selected. So we're gonna do some of those out here and on this side. A little bit more here in the middle. And let's see in this corner, hopefully there's enough space to simulate some. Okay, that should be all right. Fortunately, we won't get around to do the some of these backyards, but there's always next week. All right. Let's see. We want to simulate some of this stuff, and for that, I need to bring these things down. So we got the logs, the foliage, these three. Just need to lower these onto the terrain. There we go. Um, oh, interesting. That's a good question. Only talk very formal things. No, that's not a weird question. You know, I was expecting something far much farther from that. I think, first of all, I think it depends on, how close of a friend you both think you are to each other, right? But I think in the end, it's just a matter of reaching out. It's, uh, he probably feels the same way. So I would just say, reach out and be like, hey, what's up? Like every now and again. It doesn't have to, you don't have to wait for like a birthday or any kind of like celebration type of thing. That's the thing. He probably like I think he might feel the same way. So let's see. I was gonna look for rocks, or should I do the trees first? Let's try and do the rocks. But yeah, that's you can share something like a little bit of a project that you've done or like that you're working on, or if he has also like some kind of passion for like game development and such, um, or at some point it's just inviting him to play a video game together. If you guys play some kind of multiplayer video games, um, and just you can start just chatting within in the context of the video game, I think. And that is, if you live in different cities, that's you got to find something to do, online, right? And that's I think that's a video game is probably a very uniting factor. And exactly, Double P is totally on point with this. You know, you just have to start it. I mean, one of you has to start it. So if you feel like you can't do it, then by all means. All right, so let's see. Do the trees. Okay, so this is it. Let's try this out. Oh, I hate when this thing happens. Oh my God, I hate it so much. Well, part of it is that it's just floating in the air. Let's see. Well, I mean, you gotta break the ice somehow, I think, right? So, um, if you just uh, I think just reaching out is is what's most important. And after that, I think usually conversation flows. So, um, it's one of those things, don't overthink it. All right, well, there we go. We have some stuffs being spawned around here. I was hoping that it'd be a little bit more of a chance of it spawning around here, but apparently that wasn't enough to cover it. And around here, sure why there's not enough space for it, but yeah, I'll try and simulate this again though. I am not like I'm painting a ton of extra. So double P, I'm not using PCG. It's just a regular procedural foliage volumes, and those have worked for me in the past, and I think I got some decent settings for them as far as placement. And if I ever need to add some more, I'll show you what I normally do. I just use that IA scatter tool to to add some additional details. So let's see. Once this one finishes simulating, I'll uh, I'll bring a couple just to round out that edge. Yeah, it spawned an extra one, but not much. But yeah, so I would use this little tool here to place some more of these in some locations where the procedural foliage tool, like with my current settings, does not does not want to do it all the way. So with this one, I can easily place some of these things like this, and say for like example around here, just to get them in like that. So yeah, there we go. Uh, oh yeah, I think that's awesome. Like I haven't looked at it as far as how it works, but I don't recall. I mean, I've seen a couple of videos. I guess I didn't spend the time on the PCG as much as I would have wanted to, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, for me at least, it's very useful. I was showing you guys, for like, defenses, the PCG, placing some of these, in some locations where maybe the procedural foliage would not spawn them PCG. Uh, these things, like kind of just a row of hedges around here, these little trees, again, PCG. So, fences like this, sidewalk like this. So it's like I said, I haven't used PCG to the extent of my usage of IA scatter tool. So I couldn't tell you, from what I've seen in demonstrations, it is really powerful, no doubt. But yeah, I haven't used it to that extent. So to me, at least, so far, this IA scatter tool is kind of all that I need. It is definitely simpler. You don't need to. And from what I've heard, PCG is not that complicated either. But yeah, you will spend a lot more time understanding it than the scatter tool. From what I gather. But I think once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. All right, so let's place just to finish off the stream. I'm gonna place some of these blocks around here to kind of break up that edge. Let's see how we can get that corner done. There we go. Okay, well, I think we got at least what we were starting, what we started doing and thinking of last week. We got that in, and so the so next week guys, I'm hoping to be able to continue this and maybe finish off this area. I'll probably do some work around it, and maybe next week we'll do some of the set dressing. Kind of like we did last week. To make this area happen. Like small details and decals and so on. But yeah, um, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that was something interesting to see, at least um, in some regards, and also thank you to Oral for asking how to show a little bit of the um, a little bit of the mechanics. It kind of got me into that a little bit as well, just to show some of that. And yeah, I hope to see you next week. I hope you guys have a great week coming up. And again, apologies for yesterday. I just wasn't, as you can hear, I'm still not 100%, but hopefully by next week I'll be able to do Saturday and Sunday as well. So yeah, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great week coming up. All right, I'll see you next week. Take care.